Hi folks, today we're going to look at something called congruent shapes, okay? It's a completely new word to you. I'm going to write it here, look. I'm in fact trying to spread it out in between these lines on the page. Congruent, okay? Congruent shapes. Now what that means, congruent means shapes that are the same, okay? It actually comes from the Latin. The con means together. Okay, so if you think like, when you congregate, you all get together. Gruent, or the ruer here at least, from the R, that means to kind of fall. So these shapes fall together. And I'm going to look at some shapes on the page here. Okay, I've done two different sets of them. You can see the different colours, okay? So, shape A, let's just count up. These are centimetre squares, okay? So it's got 4 across the top and 3 down the side, okay? Shape B has got 4 across the top and 3 down the side. The angles, we've got 4 right angles in there, haven't we? So actually, I think you'd probably agree with me that shape A and shape B are the same. Okay, that's quite a nice one, isn't it? They're the same shape. If we were to cut them out, they'd fit on top of each other perfectly. What about shape C though? Is that the same as well? Because it's longer, isn't it? Well, let's check its measurement. So we've got 3 along the top here and 4 down the side. We have got the 4 right angles still, which is nice, but the measurements are different. However, all that's happened is that it's been rotated around, hasn't it? If we spun this by 90 degrees, it would fit on top. And that's the way to think of these. I like the idea of, if you think about cutting out each shape, will it, regardless if you flip it over, you turn it around, that's okay, you can do that for congruent shapes. Would it fit on top of the other one? Okay, and the answer is yes. If we chopped out shape C, it would fit on top of shape A. We just turn it around. Okay, and that's fine. So these 3 shapes are all congruent to each other. Now I've got another set down here. These are triangles this time. Okay, and they all look a little bit different. So let's just see which ones are congruent. So the first thing I'm going to count how long each side is. Okay, so we've got 3 here and 3 here. Now we could measure that with a ruler if this wasn't on centimetre squared paper. This side here I'm going to leave for now because that is just joined up by the ends, okay? Here we've got a 90 degree angle just there, haven't we? Okay, and then here we've got 3 and 3 with a 90 degree angle. That works out nice. This one's got 3 and 1, 2, 3 with a 90 degree angle. This one's got 3 and 4 with a 90 degree angle. Okay, so there's like one odd one out. Can you see that? Shape F is going to be the odd one out. It's not congruent because one side's much bigger than the others. Okay, but these 3 shapes, if we were to cut them out, we could stack them together really neatly. They'd go on top of each other and make a lovely little pile. Okay, they're congruent. So shapes D, E and G are congruent to each other. Now you get congruent shapes. Normally we look at them in pairs. We say which 2 shapes are congruent, but you can have loads. You can have as many as you want as long as they're all the same shape. Okay, so please write down the word congruent, okay, with an explanation of what I said before. It means to fall together. These shapes are the same, okay, because we're going to look at something else in a minute which is fairly similar, interestingly. The word similar is quite useful in it because they are called similar shapes, which are very similar to congruent shapes, but there's a little difference, okay, so just make sure you're really happy with what these are first. Thanks, folks.